Here too for Coach Kim Mulkey, who did a great job at Baylor. Now it's at LSU, doing a good job for the Tigers. So we'll definitely be looking forward to this LSU season once probably next year hits. It's early. It's November basketball. No one really cares about November basketball. It's just a lot of exhibition play. Just getting your feet wet, get back moving. Doing some new things with some new players. So definitely going to be on the lookout for LSU basketball later as the season goes on. LSU baseball, I'll just touch on them real quick. I'm not going to talk about them in depth. They're going to be really, really good this year. If you made it this far and you heard this, when LSU baseball is very, very good this season, just don't be shocked. I promise you. Just do not be shocked. They should have a chance to go to Omaha and win it all. They're going to be very, very good this year. I'm excited to see what they do. That's going to be a good thing to watch. And since we're here, I'm going to talk about Tulane. I'm not going to pretend I know everything about Tulane. I watched like 2 of their games. They're a really good team. They beat the hell out of SMU. I watched this game. But, man, let's just go to their stats. Let's just go Tulane. They're number 21 in the country right now. That's very, very good for Tulane. They're going to be looking like they're going to be in a really good bowl game. They lost to UCF. That was a pretty good game, man. I wish they could have won it. But now they got Cincinnati coming up. That's going to be a big game. They can drop inside their top 20 if they beat Cincinnati. Let's look at their stats on the year. Quarterback, you got Michael Pratt. I mean, he's had a fantastic year. 174 for 266, 2,200 yards, 20 touchdowns to only 4 interceptions. That's just a fantastic season. Tajay Spears on the ground, 155 carries, 996 yards, almost at 1,004 yards away, averaging 6.4 yards a carry, 12 touchdowns. Michael Pratt, the quarterback, has also ran for 317 yards and 9 touchdowns. So the run game for Tulane's been pretty good. The pass game's been pretty good. Shea Wyatt, the leading receiver, 27 catches, 520 yards, 5 touchdowns. Jaquan Jackson, 27 catches, 433 yards, 2 touchdowns. Stu Watts, 27 catches as well, 410 yards, 6 touchdowns. So obviously, Tulane spreading the ball out. They're spreading the ball out. They have 6 receivers and the running back with basically 20 catches or more. So no one's, just the main guy. They're spreading the ball around. Everybody's getting involved. And that's a hard offense to stop. I'm trying to get the Saints to do that. Spread the ball around. We got so many weapons that you can feed all of these weapons. I'm not going to get on the tangent back on the Saints, but, man, Tulane's been playing well. I'll definitely have more on them. Like I said, I'm not going to pretend I know what's going on with Tulane football. That's just not me. I haven't watched enough to pretend to know, they're doing great. Dorian Williams, linebacker, 92 tackles. That's absolutely amazing. Nick Anderson, the other linebacker, 88 tackles. That's good. Safety, 67. Larry Brooks. Macon Clark, 56. They've been playing well, man. They have been playing very, very well down in Tulane and New Orleans, man. I definitely have to keep an eye on them. I'll definitely watch the Cincinnati game. Probably give you a full breakdown after that because I'll definitely watch that. But Tulane's been good, man. They're first in the American. That's pretty good. Hopefully they're getting a really good bowl game. They get to play a good team, man. Like they'll have a chance to play a team like Kansas State, maybe UCLA in their bowl game, or FSU, who LSU couldn't beat. Maybe, Tulane can go beat them. That'll be a nice storyline right there. At one point, people were talking about LSU and them playing in the bowl game, which would have been absolutely fantastic to see. I think LSU would have beat them by a pretty good margin. But, man, Tulane's been playing great, and I like to see that, man. A team from Louisiana, like this. Hey, it's DaBoot Tragedies, all sports, all Louisiana, man. If they're going to get on the radar and they're going to play like this, I'll talk about them. So, shout out to Tulane, man. They've been playing good. And before I get out here, last thing I want to do, I do want to talk about LSU recruiting right now. Let's go to 247. All right. I don't know if you guys follow recruiting. I don't really follow it as much, but this year, new coach, I'll follow it. I'll follow it this year. So we'll jump at this recruiting list right now. To be great, you have to recruit. Let's be honest. To be great, you have to recruit. Right now, LSU sitting at the number 4 recruiting class in the country. Now, in my opinion, they have a better class than Notre Dame. It was a couple 5-stars that they had that 247 just dropped them to 4 stars because I think 247 is ran by Alabama fans. As you can see, Alabama has 5 stars. It's still Nick Saban. He's still going to do that. LSU 0 5 stars, but in reality, we got about 2 or 3. So I think we do have the 3rd best class in the country right now. You can argue that we have to have the 2nd best class in the country behind Alabama. Depending on what site you're looking at, I'm just looking at 247 right now. There's still a couple guys we could get to move this recruiting class up some more, but I'm looking at the number 2 recruiting class, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. I'm a little biased, but I think LSU has the 2nd best recruiting class in the country behind behind Alabama, in front of Notre Dame, and in front of Georgia. Now, we just look at it real quick. Let's look at some of these players. We got Shelton Sampson from Catholic. He's from Louisiana. You got a defensive lineman, which I love just because you got to get those trenches. Another offensive tackle who's really, really good, who could be a 5-star. Shelton Sampson is a 5-star. Let's get that out the way. He's that good. He's a 5-star. Jalen Brown from Florida, a good receiver. Jackson Howard, edge rusher. Cornerback, another edge, another offensive tackle. Caleb Jackson from Liberty. He's really, really good. That running back could be a 5-star as well. Colin Jackson. Notice that we have a lot of guys from Louisiana. A lot of Ricky Collins, quarterback, Louisiana. Another athlete from Louisiana. Just a lot. Trey Holly, who's really, really good. I think he ran over 10,000 career rushing yards this in the playoffs this past weekend for his high school. So he's another guy that's really, really good. So a lot of 4-stars in this class, couple 3-stars, but it's a really, really good class so far. Like I said, number 4 overall rank, in my opinion, it's number 2. And if we look at this full list, I think it's still some guys that we can get that's in the top, players. Obviously, Archie Manning's from New Orleans, Manning family, Peyton, Eli, Archie, all those guys. He's going to Texas, so he'll be in the SEC. But let's see, it's a cornerback that I think we have a chance to get. Nicholas Harbor, if we were to get him, that would be great. I think he's going to go to South Carolina. He's predicted to go to South Carolina, but LSU's in the top 5. But if we got him, that would be a huge, huge get. I think he's going to end up going to South Carolina, so I'm not going to get my hopes up on that. But it is a cornerback. What is his name? Let's find him. Desmond Ricks. He's predicted number 15 player in the country, a 5-star corner. This would be a huge, huge get for LSU. 5-star, 15 player in the country, number 2 in the country at the cornerback position. He's predicted to go to LSU 100%. Usually when these guys predict these things 100%, they know more. They're insiders. They be having all the information. If they can get him, that'll be a huge, huge get for this recruiting class, man. That'll be, you get a 5-star corner like that, it's just, you just can't beat it. We're DBU for a reason. Look at the offers. The guy's a stud. You got Alabama, Florida, LSU, Auburn, FSU. Basically anybody, anywhere he wants to go, this guy can go. LSU's in the driver's seat right now. They've been playing well, so that's definitely been helping out. And we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens with him. Hopefully we get him. That'll help out the recruiting class. That'll actually solidify us having the number 2 class behind Alabama. And the way you beat Alabama, the way you beat Ohio State, the way you beat Georgia, the way you beat these teams, you have to out-recruit them. These guys, if you look at this recruiting list for the last 4 or 5 years, the best teams have the best recruiting classes. It's not it's not rocket science. It is not rocket science on how you're going to be good in college football. Let's look right now. Let's look at 2022. All right, let's just go through some recruiting classes real quick. Who had the best team, best recruiting classes? Wow, you see A&M up there, who's been absolutely dog shit. Who had the best crazy recruiting class last year. But those guys are all freshmen. You got Bama, you got Georgia, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, Michigan, Clemson in the top 10. You see LSU, 12. You can't be there. You can't be. I know it was a transition year and things like that. Let's go 2021. We had a number 3 class. That's pretty good. But you got Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia, Clemson, Oregon, USC. This is where you're going to need to be every year. And LSU usually recruits well. We usually recruit well. Like we had number 4 recruiting class. We just lost some guys, to the portal and things like that. And then we just weren't coached well by Coach O. Like I said, we have top 5, top 10 recruiting classes with Alabama, with Georgia, with A&M, Oklahoma, Michigan, USC, whoever you want to put up there, Clemson. We just have to produce on the field. This was the first year I think we had the recruiting class. The recruiting class actually wasn't that good, but we have good coaching. So you come back with a 12 recruiting class and you have good coaching, you can make things happen. Now we're going to have top 5 classes, top 3 classes with good coaching. We haven't had this together. Les Miles, great recruiting classes, terrible coaching. Coach O, great recruiting classes, terrible coaching. Now Brian Kelly, great recruiting classes, and we have great coaching going on. So I think LSU's in the driver's seat to be a powerhouse. To obviously we're blue blood in my opinion. Some people don't think we are, but to remain consistent for the next 10 to 15 years with Brian Kelly running the show, I think we're in a good position with the LSU football team, and I think they have a chance to do some crazy, crazy things. I think the team's only going to get better, coaching's only going to get better, and we'll see what happens, man. They got a good chance to do something in the playoffs this year if they, beat Georgia, if some things fall their way.